Hello everybody and welcome back to another playing commentary of Your Lie in April or Chikachi wa Kimi no Uso. Yeah, episode 5. As per usual, there's the outro time if you. So I wonder why you would do that. So yeah, episode 5. We have come a long way already. It's the performance was already, and that was breathtaking to say the least, and all of the visual metaphors that were used during it were quite spectacular, I would say. So it was definitely a rather special one. So I quite liked it. Really, really quite liked it. So yeah, let's just get on with the show proper. Once again, I like the visual effects of the show quite a bit. They are really quite spectacular how they are just using different types of visual effects to push along different narrative. Even though it's more for the comedic purpose, it's still quite nice. Guys, quite nice of a mood breaker. So I quite like it. Hmm. Now that's an interesting perspective to take on things. Like, what is it so bad that that you're only good for one thing and you're over specialized in your field? Now, I personally don't think that it's such a bad thing to be over specialized, and um, but I really like the visual metaphor of him playing the piano in that it's just clanking without making any sounds. It was really quite well done. Once again, I'm just giving the props to the visual and audio design of department because they are doing really quite a great job at the show. So yeah, really, this is quite an interesting existential problem. Like, but so I have trouble putting it into words, but the problem is that he feels that it's bad if his only value is the fact that he can play the piano. So is that such a bad thing? That's a really interesting dilemma now, isn't it? So, and a really interesting way that that has become a really central factor in this whole story. I quite like that because it certainly is rather special. Hmm. The way that he's worded that, the fact that it's burned into his mind, that was exactly what Kaori was trying to do. That burn her performance in the mind of all of the spectators. So that is actually pretty interesting that he would word it that way. That's actually a pretty good way of paying back or setting it up and setting up that kind of wording. So I there's quite a lot of little clever things in this show. So that's the word use is one of those. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's in love with him, with Arima. So I don't know what to call him, Arima or Kosei, whatever. Kosei. So it's pretty obvious that she's in love with Tsubaki is in love with Kosei. So um, yeah. But uh, I wonder how much this will turn into a love story, because there's quite a lot of opportunities for it to go that way, and I would certainly prefer it to stay in this musical path that it has been trudging along so well. Now, there's something really weird that I will comment on in the end of the episode about the pacing of the show, but that will wait until the end. Hmm. It will be it will be interesting to see whether he will actually take this opportunity and actually enter the piano competition and actually perform there, because I do see that being like the penultimate event of the series. So that could easily be the ultimate happening of the event of the series without any problem. Plenty of musicians in the same boat. Yep, I completely abandoned music years ago, and people still give me applause for some reason. Oh well.
お前が弾けってそれでも
So, um, what to say? This was mostly just aftershock of the previous episode, and it's fine to have an aftershock episode like this because something did happen in the previous episode. Kaori was hospitalized. That's quite an important event to clear up why that exactly happened. So, it's fine enough as it is. So, however, overall, this episode had pretty much. Now I need to talk about the big problem in the show, and that is that it feels like it's moving at a snail's pace. It's moving at such a slow pace that nothing really is happening at any time. So it's really quite bothersome. I would prefer a show to move at a little faster pace, but I suppose going slowly is at moments really good, but it's moving slowly all the time, and that's kind of bad, and especially after coming from such a show that moves at a fast pace like Overlord, or faster pace when Overlord is going slowly at some moments. But a show that moves at faster pace, it's quite a huge juxtaposition between the shows. Now, there's good to have juxtapositions or contrast in the show itself, so that it's important to have both fast going parts and slow moving parts in the show itself, so that the audience doesn't get boring and the show doesn't become stale. So this is a pretty big negative for me about the show, that it feels like it's moving at a very normal pace, or it has settled into a pace that is very, very slow. And that's really quite bothersome because I don't want. I still like the show, but it feels like I'm eating cotton candy. Like there's nothing except air and just some sugary goodness every once in a while. So it feels like there's not much content to it. So yeah, it's quite bothersome. Still, regardless of that, it's still quite a good show. So, and it has a lot of things going for it, but you know, I just gotta point out this negative part about it. Don't let me sound like I'm still disliking the show, but this is just something that I've noticed by now. So yeah, regardless, it's still enjoyable. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Can move out. I know I don't have much else to say this time around. So yeah, I'll see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Can move out. Yeah.